5 people lost without a trace in a specific corner of Vermont. The wilderness of Vermont holds a secret, a series of disappearances so baffling, they defy rational explanation. For decades, a specific region, now dubbed the Bennington Triangle, has swallowed individuals whole, leaving behind only chilling questions. This isn't a single isolated incident. It's a pattern, a cluster of vanishings concentrated around Glastonbury Mountain and its surrounding areas, beginning in the 1940s. The common thread? Each person was an experienced hiker, a local or someone simply passing through, swallowed by the seemingly benign landscape. Our investigation begins in December 1945 with Mitty Rivers, a seasoned 74-year-old hunter and guide. He was leading a group near Long Trail Road. On the return trip, he walked ahead, a familiar shortcut through the dense woods. He was never seen again. Mitty knew these woods like the back of his hand. He was an expert. Search parties, including local residents and state police, scoured the area for weeks. All they found was a single rifle cartridge. No body, no tracks, just silence. Less than a year later, in December 1946, 18-year-old Paula Jean Weldon vanished. A sophomore at Bennington College, she told her roommates she was going for a walk on the Long Trail, a popular hiking path. She was seen by several witnesses, a couple picking berries, a local worker. They watched her walk out of sight, heading north on the trail. She wore a distinctive red jacket. Then, like Mitty Rivers, she simply ceased to exist. The search for Paula was massive. Over 5,000 people participated, including students, faculty, and state troopers. Her father, a prominent engineer, even brought in FBI agents. The investigation stretched for years, but yielded nothing. No clues, no struggle, no body. The very next year, in December 1949, James E. Tetford, a 68-year-old veteran, disappeared. He was on a bus traveling from St. Albans to Bennington. Witnesses saw him on the bus at the last stop before Bennington. But when the bus arrived, Tetford was gone. His luggage remained on the rack, his money untouched. It was as if he'd simply dematerialized mid-journey. How could a man vanish from a moving vehicle, in plain sight of other passengers, without a single person noticing? Then, in October 1950, 8-year-old Paul Jeffson vanished. He was playing in his family's yard, which bordered the Glastonbury wilderness. His mother briefly stepped inside to tend to a pig. When she returned, Paul was gone. Paul had a red jacket, much like Paula Weldon. He was a small child. The search was immediate and frantic. Bloodhounds were brought in. They tracked his scent to a specific point in the woods, then abruptly the scent vanished. The final major disappearance occurred just 16 days later, in October 1950. Frietta Langer, 53, and her cousin were hiking near Somerset Reservoir. Frietta slipped and fell into a stream. She decided to go back to change clothes, promising to return. She left her cousin, took a familiar path back to camp. She was gone for an hour. Her cousin raised the alarm. Frietta Langer was never seen alive again. This time, however, there was a grim difference. Her body was found 7 months later, in May 1951, in an open field, miles from where she disappeared. The cause of death was undetermined. The discovery only deepened the mystery, offering no explanation for her initial vanishing or how her body ended up where it did. 5 disappearances. 5 individuals, all within a small radius over a 5-year span. No clear connections, no obvious motives. The Bennington Triangle became a place whispered about, a location of unease. What are the theories surrounding these baffling cases? Some point to the harsh, unforgiving nature of the Vermont wilderness itself. Glastonbury Mountain is rugged, prone to sudden weather changes, and historically known for its isolation. Could they have simply succumbed to the elements, their bodies lost in the dense undergrowth, swallowed by sinkholes, or hidden by landslides? It's a plausible explanation for some, but not for all. How do you explain James Tetford vanishing from a bus? Another theory involves a serial killer. The geographical proximity and the short time frame between disappearances could suggest a predator operating in the area. But again, no bodies for most, no evidence of struggle, no witnesses to a crime. The sheer lack of evidence for most of these cases makes the serial killer theory difficult to prove. It requires a killer so cunning, so meticulous, that they left virtually no trace. That's a rare level of proficiency. More unusual theories abound. Some talk of a portal or a dimensional rift, a place where the veil between worlds is thin. The sudden, inexplicable vanishings, particularly Tetford's, lend themselves to such fantastical ideas. Others whisper of the local folklore, of the Bennington monster, or a Bigfoot-type creature. Glastonbury Mountain has a long history of being considered a cursed or unlucky place by Native American tribes who avoided permanent settlement there. The truth is, we have no answers. The Bennington Triangle remains one of America's most enduring and perplexing mysteries. 5 lives, extinguished from the known world, leaving behind a chilling legacy of the unknown. The cases of Mitty Rivers, Paula Weldon, James Tetford, Paul Jeffson, and Frietta Langer serve as a stark reminder of how quickly and completely a person can disappear, even in seemingly familiar surroundings. What truly happened in the Bennington Triangle? Was it a series of unfortunate accidents, the work of a phantom killer, or something far more bizarre, lurking in the shadows of the Vermont wilderness? What other unsolved disappearances haunt the wild places of our world?